Picture this. It's past midnight, the room is quiet, and the only light comes from the blue glow of your laptop. You're scrolling through an online store, not impulse shopping, not bored shopping, but looking for something you genuinely need. A jacket. Yours is worn out, the weather's turning, and this one looks perfect. The price says $38. Reasonable. Sensible. You click checkout, already imagining it arriving at your door. And then it happens. That single line that changes everything. Shipping, $8.99. Your hand stops. Your stomach tightens. Something about it feels offensive. $9 just to move a box from one place to another? It feels like paying for air, like watching money vanish into nothing. You hesitate, annoyed, slightly indignant, and then your eyes catch it. Right there, glowing like a reward beacon. Spend $15 more to get free shipping. Free! One word and suddenly the math shifts. The irritation dissolves. The part of your brain that cares about logic quietly steps aside, and another part rushes in, loud and confident. No way I'm paying $9 for shipping. That's a scam. I'm smarter than that. I'll just add one more thing. Now, you're not shopping anymore. You're hunting. Not for something useful, but for something adequate. Something that gets you over the line. You scroll with purpose until you find it. A $16 charging cable. You already have a few, but that doesn't matter. This one solves the problem. Into the cart it goes. New total? $54. Shipping? $0. You feel a small rush as you click complete order, like you've just beaten the system. You saved $9. Or at least that's what it feels like. But pause for a second and replay what actually happened. You spent $16 extra to avoid paying $9. You paid $7 more than you needed to, bought something you didn't want, and still walked away feeling victorious. Your bank account is lighter, your drawer is more cluttered, and yet your brain filed this under smart decision. That's not a mistake. That's a psychological trap working exactly as designed. This is the zero price effect, a flaw in human decision-making so powerful it can override intelligence, experience, and self-control the moment something is labeled free. And the most important part is this. Companies didn't stumble into this by accident. They studied it, tested it, refined it, and then built entire business models around exploiting it. Free isn't generosity, it's a lever. I'm David, and I'm obsessed with the invisible forces shaping how we spend money. Not budgeting tips or hustle culture, but the subtle psychological pressure baked into everyday decisions. The stuff that makes people who are otherwise careful, disciplined, and financially aware consistently spend more than they intend to. If you've ever bought something just to avoid a fee, signed up for a deal that somehow cost more than expected, or wondered why good with money still feels so exhausting, this is for you. Because today, we're pulling apart the true cost of free. Free shipping, free trials, free financing, free apps, and why, in practice, free is often the most expensive option on the table.
In traditional economics, price differences are evaluated rationally. A product that costs $2 versus $1 triggers a small calculation. Is it worth the extra dollar? But behavioral economist Dan Ariely discovered something strange. The difference between 1 cent and 0 cents doesn't behave like other price gaps. It's not incremental, it's explosive. The moment the price hits 0, the brain stops analyzing and starts reacting. The cost-benefit analysis shuts down. Emotion takes over. When something costs even a tiny amount, we ask questions. Do I need this? Will I use it? Is it worth it? But when it's free, those questions disappear. Instead, another feeling rushes in. Fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of walking away from something that costs nothing. That's why people will stand in a 40-minute line for a free coffee sample worth $2. If you value your time at even minimum wage, you just paid far more than the coffee was worth. But it didn't feel like a cost. It felt like an opportunity. Companies understand this better than we do. They know that free doesn't just attract attention, it disables resistance. Which brings us back to free shipping, the most common psychological trap on the internet.
That free shipping threshold isn't random, it's engineered. Retailers know their average order value down to the cent. If most customers naturally spend around $37, they'll set free shipping at $50. Close enough to feel reachable, far enough to require extra spending. It's not customer-friendly, it's behavior shaping. They're not helping you save money, they're training you to spend more. And here's the part most people never realize. Shipping costs were already built into the product price. That $38 jacket didn't magically become unprofitable without your $9 fee. The company averaged shipping across all orders long before you clicked buy. When you add an extra item to unlock free shipping, you're not costing them anything. You're giving them margin. You're moving inventory they wanted gone anyway. You didn't beat the system, you optimized it for them.
The same logic drives buy one, get one free deals. On paper, they look incredible. Buy one sweater for $60, get the second free. 50% off per item. Except there's a question hidden underneath. Were you planning to buy 2 sweaters? If not, you didn't save money, you spent more to justify a deal. Retailers use BOGO when they have excess inventory. It's not a reward, it's a clearance strategy disguised as generosity. They clear shelf space, you take home clutter. The storage cost moves from their warehouse to your closet, and somehow you feel grateful. Then there's 0% financing, where free becomes dangerous. Buy now, pay later, no interest for 18 months. It sounds responsible. Why pay up front when you can spread it out for free? Because it's not free, it's deferred. Buried in the contract is a clause that changes everything. If you miss a payment, are late once, or fail to pay off the full balance by the deadline, interest doesn't start then, it rewinds. You owe interest on the entire purchase from day one, often at rates approaching 30%.
An $1,800 purchase can quietly become $2,700 because life happened, not because you were reckless, but because you were human. The financing company isn't rooting for you to win. Their profits depend on breakage, the percentage of people who slip up. Even if you don't, you likely overpay it anyway. Retailers bake financing fees directly into the sticker price. The free financing cost was there all along. Cash buyers just don't see it unless they ask. And then there's the digital world, built almost entirely on free. Free email, free social media, free navigation, free apps. But there's a rule that hasn't changed. If you're not paying, you're not the customer. You're the product. Your attention, your behavior, your data. That data shapes ads, pricing, insurance offers, credit decisions. You don't feel the cost immediately, but it accumulates, quietly, permanently. Free-to-play games take this even further. They're designed to frustrate, not entertain. Artificial limits, waiting timers, currency shortages. Once you've invested time, spending money feels justified. $5 here, $20 there. People spend thousands inside free games, far more than they ever would on a fixed-price product. Free removes the ceiling. Paid products protect you from yourself.
And finally, the slowest trap of all, the free trial. Credit card required. That's not for verification, it's for inertia. They know you'll forget. They know canceling feels annoying. They know exhaustion beats intention. The trial converts not because people love the product, but because they're tired. Free trials aren't trials, they're subscriptions with a grace period. So why does this keep working? Because free feels like zero risk. We overestimate our future discipline and underestimate how engineered these systems are. We think we're choosing freely inside a fair marketplace. We're not. We're reacting inside environments designed to nudge, pressure, and exhaust us. The antidote isn't willpower, it's awareness. When you see free shipping, ask what you're being nudged to add. When you see a free trial, assume it will convert unless you actively stop it. When you see 0% financing, ask for the cash price. When you see free, don't celebrate. Pause. Because free isn't a price,
It's a strategy. Someone always pays, and most of the time, it's you.
If this video made you rethink even one purchase, do this right now. Check your subscriptions, cancel the free trials you forgot about, and empty that online cart you're padding just to unlock free shipping. If you want to stop falling for these psychological money traps, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with that friend who can't resist anything labeled free. In the next video, we'll expose another financial trap hiding in plain sight.